To the I-Team now, the family of a man who died in a Cobb apartment fire has sued the complex, blaming a broken fire sprinkler system and the alleged failure of employees to properly watch for a fire.
The Fox 5 I-Team first investigated what led to that February 2023 fire at the Hamptons at East Cobb. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis returns to explain why this lawsuit accuses the complex of ignoring something called fire watch. Randy.
Yeah, fire watch, Christine and Russ. Yeah, when a building's fire alarm or sprinkler system malfunctions, local fire officials give the owner a choice. They can close the building to the public, evacuate the apartments until the system is back online, or they can go on something that's called fire watch, assigning someone to walk around doing nothing else but looking for a fire. It can be monotonous work, especially when done correctly.
I'll look around, make sure there's no fire. I will go to this restroom right here.
When the fire suppression system stopped working for a few days at this Peachtree Corners dialysis clinic, CEO Martin Babayev put on a new hat, human fire alarm.
It took a lot of time. It did.
Never mind the clinic was not yet open to patients. Every hour, Martin would make his rounds, checking every room, eyeballing every plug.
But this is where the area would, if it would go to fire, this would be a very major area that will go.
It's called Fire Watch, an internationally approved temporary replacement for a broken fire alarm.
You're the eyes and ears of the building. If the suppression system or alarm system or anything that's being covered by fire protection is out of service, there's no protection there.
The lawsuit alleges the Hamptons at East Cobb negligently failed to comply with the requirements of the fire watch, leading to this fire and death of 74-year-old Thomas Alexander. The dementia patient lived with his younger sister, Vicky.
You knew that this stuff was not working and I was not protected.
We reported last year how residents complained they had no idea the sprinkler system had stopped working at Building 200. But the Cobb Fire Marshal knew. They cited the complex multiple times for a failed system and placed the complex on fire watch. The lawsuit points out the person on fire watch is supposed to have no other duties. They shall continuously patrol the structures looking for fire and or hazardous conditions. Of the 45 days Hamptons of East Cobb was supposed to be on fire watch, fire officials could provide only 12 days of logs submitted by apartment management. Those logs show the overnight hours were mainly staffed by the apartment resident manager.
Did you see anybody watching your building for a fire?
No.
How are you sure?
Because I didn't see anyone. And I'm in and out my apartment all the time.
The lawsuit says at the time of the fire, the complex failed to have an individual patrolling the premises on fire watch. Investigators say the fire started the morning of February 13th last year in the Alexander's living room. They found Thomas's body near the bathroom. No cause was ever determined.
They never gave us no warning, not whatsoever.
According to the lawsuit, not only were residents never alerted about the broken system, the complex intentionally misrepresented to tenants that the systems were safe and operable.
They should at least let us know, okay, they're not working, don't panic, but we're working on it.
Instead, Trina Johnson renewed her lease during the time the fire system was broken. Yet on her lease, the complex checked she had a working sprinkler system.
If I knew sooner that they didn't have any sprinklers, I would have moved.
Did you really have a fire watch going on at the time the sprinklers were broken?
Last year, we tried to get answers from that resident manager who listed herself as the overnight fire watcher.
They're really upset about that.
Okay.
Why didn't you tell them that?
You have a good one. Thank you so much.
Don't you think it's important to tell them that the sprinklers aren't working in an apartment when they're paying their lease?
The law firm representing the Hamptons did not respond to our attempts for comment.
Was it a pain?
It was hard, kind of, because you got to stop what you're doing.
Could you see how some people might just say, I'm not going to really follow the rules?
Yeah. Is it recommended? Absolutely not, because if there's a fire, it could be too late.
Now, it seems strange, but the International Fire Code does not require a business like an apartment complex to post a warning that the sprinklers or fire alarms at that moment are broken. Seems to be common sense to let more people know so you have more fire watchers out there than the one that's designated by the company.
Do we know who was on fire watch that night of the fire?
We do not know, Christine. That was one of the days the fire department said they didn't have any logs for. Could also be because that's the day the fire happened and nobody wrote anything down.
true. But also, the question really is, if someone was watching that day, would Mr. Alexander be alive? If someone had spotted that fire earlier than what happened that day, could they have rescued him? Could they have saved him? The lawsuit says yes. We'll find out as the case unfolds.
Yeah, we've seen how fast fires can spread.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, thanks.
Thanks, Randy.